My name is Alan Kiesler. I'm always thinking about villages, communities where people will gather together uh, as one family, live together, taking care of each other in love. And right now, I'm reading two books actually about the Holy Virgin Mary, Mother of Jesus, peace be upon them both. And I've been talking about them. I just had a live Facebook chat, and anybody who wants to see what I said there, you can go on my Facebook page and hear that also. But I'm just going to very briefly repeat that I was reading this book, My Heart Will Triumph. Mirjana Soldo is a lady here who not only saw, but talked with, and is regularly meeting the Holy Virgin Mary, Mother of Jesus, peace be upon them both. She is meeting her on the second day of every month. And in addition to that, at least one or two other days in the year also. Is going on now. And there were 6 children, she was one of them, in 1981, all of whom saw and still are, some frequently, some not so frequently, but those 6 no longer children, now adults, are still seeing and hearing from and talking with the Virgin Mary, the Mother of Jesus, peace be upon them both. So, and I'll just show you one other book because the Virgin Mary has appeared in many places in the 20th century also and in previous centuries also. And one of them was in Africa, in the place of, in the village of Kibeho in the country of Rwanda. So she has appeared in the village of Fatima in Portugal back in 1917 or so, I don't remember the exact year, but over 100 years ago. She appeared in a village named very appropriately Fatima, the name of the Holy Prophet Muhammad's daughter, peace be upon them both. And she has appeared in many other places. So there's a very, very good opportunity for us, all of us who believe in the Virgin Mary at least, peace be upon her. It's an opportunity for us to get up to date, wonderful spiritual guidance. So I strongly recommend to everyone. And as I said in my Facebook live chat, I will just repeat one very important thing. When you read some of these books, you can go online and just do a search for appearances of Virgin Mary, Medjugorje, M-E-D, is spelled in different ways. Medugorje is one way it's spelled, but if you look it up, you can find it. And Fatima, the village of Fatima, you can read these about these appearances. And one thing I want to say, since many of my audience are Muslims, is that she talks about Jesus, her son, Holy Prophet Isa alayhi salam, as God. She uses the word God for him. But that word God does not mean Allah. The word God has different meanings in the English language. And one meaning, the usual meaning that most people attribute to the word God, is Allah, the original source of everything. Allah means the original source of everything, the God. But the word God in English is also used for the creators of the universes. There are millions of universes, and there are millions of spiritual universes and millions of material universes. I don't know the exact number, I may be off, but there are many, many universes. We can't count them all. And the spiritual universes were never created, they are eternal. But the material universes are created. And Allah Himself, the original source of everything, He does not personally undertake the job of creating the material universes. He sends a very powerful servant to a region of space that is empty, you can say, with the job, with the work to create a universe there. And I know this is kind of strange for many people because most people have not heard this before, but that's because in the past we didn't know about other universes. We didn't even know about other galaxies. We only knew about our own galaxy, and even that very limited knowledge we had in the past. So in the past, it was never revealed that there are many universes. In many of the scriptures, it only talks about one universe, and God created the universe. That's true. But actually, the God who created the universes, not just one, those gods, those are not gods in the sense that we use the word God usually. There's only one God in that sense. But the servants of God, the powerful servants of God, who are so powerful that they can create universes by the mercy of God, by the energy given to them by God, by Allah Himself, they have the power to create universes. So the creator of our universe, I believe, is the same personality who appeared on our planet as Jesus, the Son of Mary. Peace be upon them both. So I'm just explaining this because if you read about the appearances of the Virgin Mary, even today she's appearing, she often talks about her son, Jesus, as God. But that doesn't mean he's Allah. He's not. I don't believe anyway. Jesus Christ is the servant of Allah, the very, very powerful servant of Allah, who was given the strength and power by Allah to create a universe. And he is the personality who created our universe. So I'm begging everyone, please don't reject these messages from the Holy Virgin Mary, Mother of Jesus, peace be upon them both, just because of this one point of the word God having more than one meaning. So please take advantage of these appearances of the Virgin Mary, and she is giving wonderful guidance to be loving and kind and merciful, to pray and fast, and I believe she is actually highly responsible for changing the destiny of the world. And the horrible suffering, the nuclear holocausts that could have happened uh, have been prevented largely because people are listening to her and following her advice to be very kind and loving and prayerful and perform penances as she is instructing. So please study that information and you will get great benefit from it. And don't reject it simply because there may be some doctrines that appear to be contrary to your belief. You have to understand the full details. Okay, let's see if we have any comments here, questions. Ikra Hassan says, good to see you. Nice to have you with us. Haji says, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, Haji Sahib. The believer says, sir, I heard that May 26th is important because it comes after 75,000 years and we can increase our frequencies. Is it true? I don't know. But we certainly are at a very, very critical time in human history, which you're right, it is 75,000 years, 76,000 years approximately. That is 3 cycles of the precession of the equinoxes. So it is a very important time period, and I do believe we are now at that point in time, not May 26th as far as I know, but it's a period of time in which we can increase our frequencies, not only on May 26th, before May 26th, after May 26th, but this period of time right now is that transformation of humanity from the satanic age, the age of war, the age of hatred, the age of deceit, the age of hypocrisy. The old age is ending, and the new age of love and truth and justice and morality and happiness is dawning. So I don't think May 26th is the only day, but we are definitely in that day of God, that final, what is the right word? The final confrontation of the forces of good and evil, the Armageddon final war. That's happening right now. We're in the middle of it. So, but it is the time after 75,000 years when we are entering a new age, when we can increase our frequencies. Yes, we can come to a higher level of spiritual awareness by special mercy of God. We're all very fortunate to be alive at this very, very special time. Mukit Sultan says, sir, belated Eid Mubarak. Same to you. I am Imran says, Assalamu alaikum, Babaji, wa alaikum salam. I am Imran Sahib. NES, Nursing Education System says, hello, sir, how are you? What do you say about Israel oppression on Palestine? Isn't it going to provoke the Muslim community towards the war? Well, I've answered this question several times over the last several weeks, and I've always said the same thing. That's what they want. The satanic so-called Jews, who are not Jews but pretend to be Jews, who are doing everything against the teachings of the Holy Prophet Moses, Musa alayhi salam, they are wanting to create a war between Islam and the West. They want to create a world war. They want to create a nuclear war because they think that when they do that, then they can gain total control over the planet. So they want a war, and they're wanting to provoke the Muslim community to be foolish and to do terrorist acts so that they can turn people more and more against Islam. So it's it's genocide. This oppression of Palestine is genocide. They're trying to kill off, they're trying to destroy, they're trying to drive away the Muslims from Israel, the Palestinians. They can't do it because it's against the law of God. They can't succeed in that. Genocide is against the law of God. That goes without saying. So they won't succeed, but they're trying. The satanic, fake Jews are trying to do it. The real Jews are not. The real Jews know that that's what is being done is against their own religion. So they want to create a war. They're trying to provoke the Muslims. So please be calm, be intelligent, don't be foolish, don't perform huge terrorist acts which will only turn the rest of the world against you more. Instead, promote love, especially prayer. When the Muslims and Jews come together, praying together in the Masjid al-Aqsa, in the Temple of Solomon, that will be the sign of world peace. So it is coming near because they're trying to provoke war. But don't fall for their plot. Okay, sir, where did this apparition happen? Mukid Sultan is asking. This apparition that I discussed in this book here, this is the My Heart Will Triumph by Mirjana Soldo. Please get this book, it's wonderful. This happened in the village of Medjugorje in what was then called Yugoslavia in 1981. It started then. It's still happening today in that little village, which has totally become transformed now into a great pilgrimage center. It's now in the country of Bosnia-Herzegovina. So that is where that one happened. And this one, appearance of the Virgin Mary, happened in the village of Kibeho in the country of Rwanda in East Africa. And that happened, I can't remember right now, was it also 1981? But I think, yes, I think it also happened in 1981, the same year. But it's not continuing now. It happened for a certain time. And there are also a group of young people, the children, teenagers, young people, saw her. So the other place I mentioned was Fatima in Portugal, where she appeared over 100 years ago. There are also many other places. In France, the famous pilgrimage place of Lourdes, she appeared, and many healings are still taking place there. In La Salette, I think, also in France, and in other places, she has appeared and given messages of very important guidance. But for me, this wonderful Medjugorje is wonderful because it's still continuing, even today. She is giving messages. Okay, so thank you for a very good question. Where did this apparition of the Holy Virgin Mary happen? Let's see. I am in Iran says, Baba Ji, Urdu mein bhi baat kare. ठीक है, मैं बीबी मरियम अलैहिस्सलाम, हज़रत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम की माँ के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ कि वो आजकल भी मौजूद हैं और लोगों को कुछ लोगों से मिल रही हैं और उनको हिदायत दे रही हैं, हम सबको हिदायत दे रही हैं। 6 बच्चे थे 1981 में और आज तक वो अभी वो सब 6 बच्चे बड़े हो गए हैं, कोई 50, 40, 50, तकरीबन 60 साल के हैं अभी। तो उन बच्चों को या उन बड़ों को अभी उन लोगों को आज भी वो अपने आप तक आ रही हैं और बात कर रही हैं और वो उनसे सवाल भी पूछ सकते हैं और हमको हिदायत दे रही हैं आज तक। मेड्यूगोर्जे उस वक्त यूगोस्लाविया शहर मुल्क में था, अभी बॉस्निया हेर्ज़ेगोविना में। तो आप थोड़ा सर्च करें इंटरनेट में, Medjugorje, appearances of Holy Virgin Mary. और आप इनके बारे में मालूम कर सकते हैं. और एक था फातिमा नाम का गांव पोर्चुगल मुल्क में, वो 100 साल से पहले था, और मुख्तलिफ जगहों में इसके बारे में बात कर रहा था. Okay, Naseem ul Hassan Vic says, Assalamu alaikum, uncle. Wa alaikum salam, Naseem Sahib. The believer says, thank you, sir. May Allah bless all of us. May the good conquer over evil forces. Yes, the good certainly will conquer over evil forces. Everyone who believes in any scripture knows that, because every scripture predicts this current time, the Battle of Armageddon, Kurukshetra, that's called. Sorry, I was interrupted there. It was called by different names in different languages, but this Battle of Armageddon is going on right now. And every religion talks about this time when the final battle between good and evil, and good will conquer over evil. And we are very, very fortunate that we could be alive at this time. Especially Pakistanis are fortunate because you can participate in the Ghazwa-e-Hind. It's going on right now, and it's the battle of truth. It's the battle of love. And I've explained many times that the Sikhs and Muslims in the Punjab coming together in love, that is the victory in the Ghazwa-e-Hind. It's not that it won't be any military confrontation, there can be, but it's mainly not a military confrontation. People thought Ghazwa-e-Hind was a military war. It's not. It's mainly a war of truth. You can say it's a propaganda war, or it's an information war, and it's the war of love and truth over the forces of division and hatred and deceit. So don't worry. Be happy. All the things that are going on in the world today have been prophesied in many, many different scriptures, and they all say the end will be when the good triumphs over the evil and world peace is established. So we're so lucky we can participate in this most wonderful, amazing, unbelievable, incredible, and no doubt difficult time. Okay. Let's see. Learn with Khizr says, Assalamu alaikum. Oh, what a wonderful name. Wa alaikum salam. Khizr alayhi salam, the great sage and saint and prophet of Allah, is alive today. My good wife is his disciple. So nice to have your name, Learn with Khizr, reminding us about that great personality. Okay, Muhammad Hamza says, I was not talking about transgenders. I was talking about complete men and women who lost interest in women, and Prophet Muhammad said about them that they cannot get mercy and love. I don't, I don't know about this, what you're talking about, but I cannot accept that God will prevent his mercy and love from going to anyone. I don't think so. I think there must be some misunderstanding on your part or on other people's part. I can't believe that God would not give his love and mercy to anyone. He sheds his love and mercy on everyone, just as the sun shines on everyone. The sun does not discriminate. God does not discriminate. God gives love and mercy to everyone. But if somebody intentionally, willfully, wanting to do it, turns away from God for whatever reason, and then refuses to receive the mercy and love of God, that's their choice. It's not God's choice. He gives mercy and love to everyone. That's my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I understand. So Muhammad Hamza says, for example, if a child is abused, he lost interest in women and become gay, they are not transgenders. Okay. Mukid Sultan says, very interesting indeed. Yes, this is very wonderful. Muhammad Hamza says, how can we saw Mother Mary had you saw her? That's her decision, her mercy. We can't force her to come before us and see us, but if she wants to, she can. And she is today even coming before people. And they visibly see her, and they talk with her, and they get a message from her. So please, you should also take advantage of this mercy and hear her messages. And it's available on the internet. At least once every month, this message is posted on the internet. The believer says, yes, sir, and now Israel and Palestine have signed ceasefire agreement. Also, let's pray that now they both will live peacefully. Well, let's hope they will live peacefully, but the only way they will live peacefully is if they pray together. Unfortunately, the Israelis have been so wrongly instructed against the teachings of their own prophet Moses, peace be upon him. They actually feel that they are superior to the Palestinians. They feel the Palestinians are not equal to them. So that a lack of understanding is very, very dangerous. And that even if there's a ceasefire agreement, if the Israeli people don't really accept the Palestinian people as equal and follow their own religious teachings to treat them as their own community, that's the instruction of Moses. You can read it in the Torah. In the Holy Bible, it's very clear that it is written that you must accept the visitor from outside who comes to be with you as your equal and treat them with love and even better than you treat your own community, but certainly not less than. So they are disobeying their own religious teachings when the way they're treating the Palestinians. So they must realize the Palestinians are their guests, or they are the guests of the Palestinians, really. But they are both to be treated the same, as members of the same community, same family. So self-sufficient villages, this can happen very easily when the villages are no longer under the control of the satanic forces from the outside, but the people in the village can come together, pray together, then this love and equality and understanding, fraternity, sorority, brotherhood and sisterhood will come together as members of one family. So it will happen, that is the prophecy, but it won't happen as long as the Israelis think they are superior to the Palestinians, as long as the fake Jews misguide the real Jews and make them think like this. So I don't have much faith in ceasefires because the Israelis are not very trustworthy because they're guided by fake Jews. They're under the control of, what shall we call them? The satanic Zionists. So we must reject any, what's the right word? Anyway, fake. They're fake. They're fake Jews. We should reject them. We should realize they are satanic. So it's clear what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians is satanic. It's genocide. It's not at all sanctioned in any religion, especially not in the Jewish religion. Okay, I don't think they'll live peacefully until the Israelis actually accept the Palestinians as their equals, as their brothers and sisters, and that will happen only when they come together and pray together. Literally, in the Masjid al-Aqsa, when the Muslims are praying, the Jews should come and pray with the Muslims. And the Muslims should join with the Jews in reciting the prayers as in Hebrew as revealed in the Torah. That's the process by which the peace will be established. That's what I've been told. And same thing in Pakistan. When the Sikhs and Muslims come together and pray together, then there will be peace and love, and Ghazwa-e-Hind will be successful. And the Muslims and Sikhs will be so loving and become one in service of God together, then the Hindus in India will be shocked. What is happening? These Muslims and Sikhs were deadly enemies for hundreds of years, and now they're coming together in love. That's what we want. We don't want war. We don't want hatred. We want love too. Everyone does. So the sincere Hindus will be so astonished at what's happening in Kartarpur and in Pakistan between the Muslims and Sikhs that they will want to join. Pakistan Khalistan. So that is the victory in the Ghazwa-e-Hind. So the same thing in Palestine, Israel. When the Jews and the Muslims come together and pray together, and they will see each other as fellow servants of God, members of the same family, descendants not only of the same Adam and Eve, but descendants of the same Abraham by his wives Sarah. The Jews are descended from Sarah and Abraham, and the Muslims are descended from Hagar and Abraham. So they're cousins, we're brothers and sisters, cousins at least. So then we will all be together in love as one family. That's the way there will be peace. Otherwise, these ceasefire agreements are, it's good to stop fighting, um, but until there is coming together in prayer and seeing each other as equal members of the same family, the same God as our only one God, then until that happens, these ceasefire agreements won't succeed in really bringing peace. Okay. Mukit Sultan says, Sir, do I have permission to ask a question off topic? Yes. A little off topic. Yes, you may ask whatever you want. Bol ke lab azad hain tere. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Naeem, Ul Hassan Virk says, बीबी शरीफ से कैसे फेस टू फेस बात हो सकती है? मुझे मालूम नहीं उसकी जब वो चाहती है वो आती है और किसी से बात करती है. हम दुआ करें लेकिन मुझे मालूम नहीं. आपका वो तो अच्छा सवाल है लेकिन इसका जवाब मुझे मालूम नहीं. Naeem Ul Haq Birk says, Naeem Ul Hassan Birk, Naeem Ul Hassan Birk says, what is this word? अच्छा शेखुपुरा. शेखुपुरा से है. ठीक है. I am Imran says, Baba ji, जिस तरह आपको रूहानी फेज हो फेस हो है, क्या हमको भी हो सकता है? हाँ, हो सकता है. अगर हजूर पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम चाहते हैं वो आपसे भी बात करेंगे. उनकी मर्जी है. अच्छा, ज़बरदस्त सवाल इमरान भाई का. आपको रूहानी फैज़ कैसे मिला? मुझे मालूम नहीं. उनकी रहम व करम है. Muhammad Hamza says, another Sufi has said that 2023 is the time when revolution will started, but he also says that war will happen, World War III, or maybe nuclear war. हाँ, मुझे भी ये बताया गया है. 2023 तक ये जो गांव हैं जिनमें हर ज़रूरी चीज़ गांव के अंदर से ही मिलता है, बाहर से किसी चीज़ की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है, वो 2023 तक हमें करना चाहिए. हर ज़िले में एक ऐसे गांव, कम से कम एक ऐसे गांव हर ज़िले में, पाकिस्तान के हर ज़िले में एक ऐसे जगह है जहां बाहर से किसी की चीज़ की ज़रूरत न रहे. गांव के अंदर ही खाना और गांव के अंदर ही कपड़ा, गांव के अंदर जो कुछ हमें चाहिए हम गांव के अंदर ही बनाते हैं, बाहर से किसी चीज़ की ज़रूरत नहीं. तो 2023 तक. तो मुझे मालूम नहीं. I don't know, Muhammad Hamza, which Sufi this is, but I don't think it will be nuclear war, because I have been told the nuclear war that was destined for humanity, that has been cancelled. The world has changed. The destiny of the world has changed. So, but I think this war, Ghazwa Hind, which is going on right now, this Armageddon, which is going on right now, something happens in 2023. It is a special date, but I don't know any details about what may happen. But before then, we should have these self-sufficient villages established in every district, at least one in Pakistan and all over the world. If we want to be safe, we should have self-sufficient villages where everything that we need is provided within the village. We don't need anything from outside. The family of the village comes together as members of one family, working together, helping each other. That will survive. When in cities it may become very difficult, if not impossible, to survive when something happens, maybe 2023. So please pray for the intelligence, the guidance, the strength and determination to work for establishing self-sufficient village communities. I'm begging you, every one of you. I'm also doing it. Not only praying, but I'm working for establishing self-sufficient community here, where I'm living too. Okay, Mukit Sultan says, Sir, do you know about the immortals? Who are they? Do they live amongst humans? And I heard Hazrat Khizr alayhi Islam is an immortal. I've also heard that Hazrat Khizr alayhi Islam is an immortal, and he is alive today. My good wife, who is also my teacher, she is also a disciple of Hazrat Khizr alayhi Islam. So I don't know about the other immortals, but there may be some. I think there could well be. But Hazrat Khizr alayhi Islam certainly has been alive for thousands or millions of years. I don't know how long. So I'm not sure what you mean by immortal, but at least they have very, very long lives. Muhammad Hamza says, most of immortals live around darbars or tombs of Sufis in the dress of mental peoples. Okay. Mukit Sultan says, that's a very harsh word to say. Everyone has a purpose to serve, yes. Hazrat Khizr live in seas and oceans and rules water. Okay, Mukit Sultan says, let him answer. So I did answer that question, I think, that you asked about the immortals. I don't know about other ones, but Hazrat Khizr alayhi Islam certainly is, if not immortal, he's definitely been around for thousands of years. So he may well be immortal. I really don't know. Okay. The believer asks, Sir, in 2023, will there be a solar flare? Maybe. That is one possibility, that there will be a solar flare in 2023 which will knock out all the electronics, and the internet will go down, and the computers will be unusable, and all the systems in the world that depend upon computer chips, electrical systems and everything may be fried. If there's a solar flare, it could knock out all of the electronics. So that's possible. I don't know. Mukit Sultan says, but thank you for your information. You're welcome. Muhammad Hamza says, most of immortals live like normal peoples, like Babaji. He is not a normal person, but lives like us. Well, I'm not an immortal, I can tell you that. Then Dr. Shabir Bhatt says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Wa alaikum salam, Dr. Shabir Sahib. Then he goes on, what are the initial steps that should be taken to convince people to create self-sufficient villages? Well, first of all, prayer. Prayer is always the first thing we should do in any circumstance. We should pray for our own guidance, pray for intelligence and strength to do the work. And then I would say to meet other people. Pray with other people then. Bring together any friends you have, or any relatives, or anyone who may be interested. Come together with them and pray together. And then start making plans. You have to find a place. If you live in a city, you have to find a village nearby, or you can create a village, I guess. I don't know the details, but that would be a big endeavor. But if you can find a village and go to the people there and talk with them and ask them to participate with you in a program like this. And if you're very loving and kind, it may take some time, but they may agree. Otherwise, make your own community. If you have a few friends, you can make your own village. So either way, but you have to find a place in the countryside where you can grow your own food and where you can have everything you need. All necessities of life can be provided from within the community. So either a village, pre-existing village, where all of the village will agree and be happy to participate with you, or you have to find a place where you can create your own farming community. Either way. But prayer is the first step. Okay, Mulberry Mugwump says, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is immortal, but he has given a long life to many of his creations, like Iblis. Well, I won't enter into that argument, whether only Allah is immortal or he has other beings of his servants who are also immortal. I think he can do it if he wants. He can create immortal beings besides himself. But actually, I do believe that. I'll be frank. Uh, we think, because we live within time, we think everything must begin at a certain time and end at a certain time. But the spiritual world is eternal. The spiritual world is not only Allah, the spiritual world is many servants of Allah who are also spiritual beings, who were never created and will never die. The entire spiritual world is eternal, it was never created. And there are many, many spiritual universes, and each one of them is eternal and was never created. And the material universes are created at one time, and they end at one time, as far as I know. Maybe they don't end, I don't know, but I've heard both versions, I don't know. But in any case, we are born and we die. So we think that everything must be born and die except Allah. But actually, there are many eternal, immortal, living beings in addition to Allah who are servants, great, powerful, eternal servants of Allah in the spiritual world. Okay, Naeemul Hassan Rick says, "आप पाकिस्तान कब आना है मुझे मालूम नहीं." I don't know when I'm coming to Pakistan again. Mukit Sultan says, "I don't think Babaji is an immortal." No, I'm not. But he is for sure a very spiritually aware person. Not very spiritually aware. Dr. Shabir Butt says, Amen. Mulberry Mugwam says, in northern Pakistan, like in Gilgit, there are self-sufficient villages. Yes. That's wonderful that there are such places. Now there must be one established in every district in Pakistan. And please make sure that happens. You can do at least one self-sufficient village in your district near you. Try to do that. But yes, I've heard also there are self-sufficient villages in the desert in Tarparkar. I don't know, but in Gilgit also. That's wonderful. So we can learn from them. If we have any difficulty, we can see they're already doing it, so we can follow their example. Very wonderful. Thank you for sharing that information. The believer, I think it is also one of the reasons for self-sufficient villages, because there will be no electronics after 2023. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know, but something will happen probably in 2023 that will make it very, very critical to have self-sufficient villages. So we should do it now. We must work very, very sincerely and seriously, determinedly to establish self-sufficient villages in every district in Pakistan, at least one. Okay. Muhammad Hamza, Babaji is a spiritual person and spirit is immortal. Spirit is immortal, but I am not a spiritual person. I'm not an immortal. I'm sorry. Eid Sultan, yes, spirit is immortal. True, yes, spirit is immortal. Mulberry, there is a saying in the Quran, I think, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell all his creations to die before the day of judgment. I don't know this. I don't know what it means, but now is the day of judgment and we're alive. The day of judgment is not one 24-hour day. It's a long period of time. It may have begun decades ago, even centuries ago, I don't know. It gradually was announced. I think that Baba Nanak Sahib actually announced it. So in one sense, that's the beginning. That's 500 years ago. But certainly in the 20th century, we saw the Day of Judgment in progress. And now in the 21st century, the Day of Judgment is reaching its culmination. This is the Ghazwa-i-Hind, the culmination of the Day of Judgment happening right now. Okay, there are many misunderstandings about the Day of Judgment. I can add that point. Very, very important point. Many people have wrong understandings about the Day of Judgment. But it's happening right now. We're in the middle of the Day of Judgment right now. Okay, Jamil Ahmad says, Salam Babaji. Wa alaikum salam, Jamil Sahib. Mulberry Mugwam says, I do agree with you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is beyond time and many of his creations can be if he wills. Thank you. Muhammad Hamza says, spirit can't die, nafas will die. Spirit is a part of God. Please correct me if I am wrong. I think you're right. But the believer says, I also live in a village in Kashmir. Oh, very good. So try to convince the people in your village to develop so that you can live self-sufficiently. You will not need anything from outside. You may have things from outside, that's okay, but prepare yourselves so that you can live without necessity of anything from outside. In Kashmir or anything, wherever you are, try to create that situation in which your village can live happily without need for anything from outside. Okay, Muhammad Hamza says, I am asking very much questions. Please pray for me. I pray for you, Muhammad Hamza Sahib, that you will be given the intelligence and the strength and determination to work for creating self-sufficient villages in Pakistan, especially all over the world, but especially in Pakistan, in every district in Pakistan. So I'm praying that for you. That's the only prayer I'm praying now for anyone to be given the strength and intelligence to develop self-sufficient villages. Okay, Mukit Sultan says, yes, every creation will perish on before the day of judgment. I don't think so, no. That's not my understanding. That is a different type of day of judgment, maybe. I don't think that every creation will perish on the day of judgment, or if it does, it will be immediately revived seamlessly in the new day. So the day of judgment is the change from the old age of hatred, division, hypocrisy, deceit, to the new age of love, truth, justice, and morality. And that's happening right now. I don't think everything will be destroyed. In one sense, the old world will be destroyed, but not every creation will perish. I don't understand that, but maybe there's some other understanding that I don't know about. Dr. Shabir Butt says, COVID is raging havoc and people are dying, so tips may help. Oh, very good. I just did it this morning. Steam, inhale steam. That's a cure. If you simply boil some water, and then put a towel over your head, over the pot of boiled water, and inhale the steam. Breathe out through your mouth and inhale through your nose. Then breathe out through your nose, inhale through your mouth, at least 10 times each. That will destroy the COVID disease. This was done by a hospital in India. 4,000 people tested positive and had the symptoms of COVID. Not one of them died. All of them were quickly cured simply by inhaling steam. And of the many, many staff members in the hospital, not one ever got the symptoms of COVID. So please share this with anybody who's worried. You don't need to worry about COVID. A very simple, cheap, practically free cure. Simply inhale steam. And there are other cures also, but I can't talk about them or I may be removed. Once before on a YouTube, I talked about hydroxychloroquine as a cure for COVID, and I was banned from, they cut me off from YouTube for a short time. So they were warning me, don't talk about things like this. They don't want people to know that there are many cures for COVID. But the simplest one is just inhaling steam. So no need for worrying about COVID or people dying from it or trying to protect themselves from it in any way. No need to protect yourself from it. Just inhale steam and you won't get it. And if you get it, it will be destroyed very quickly just by inhaling steam. That's what I believe, and that's what I'm doing. Mokit Sultan says, Angel Jibreel will be the last to be die. That's what I have read in the Quran. Well, please show me that verse, and because I have not read that. Last to die. Anyway. Jamil Ahmas says, Salam Babaji, how do you see that current situation in Gaza? Where will it end, and what are the motives behind? Well, the motives behind are the fake Jews, the satanic Zionists. They want to destroy the Palestinians. They want to create greater Israel and make it the center of their Dajjal, their satanic kingdom. They want to rule the world from Jerusalem. So that is the motive. But they won't succeed because it is predicted and that the world peace will be established, not by the Satanists, they will try, but by the godly people. So that will be the end. You ask, how will it end? Where will it end? It will end in world peace. when the true people of God understand that the people of Gaza and the people of Palestine are servants of God, fellow servants of God with the Jews, the real Jews, and they will come together, pray together, and understand each other's identity as servants of God. Therefore, brothers and sisters, descendants of the same Adam and Eve, descendants of the same Abraham, and therefore all will come together in love as one family. That will be the end, world peace. But the current time is the Armageddon. This is the final conflict between good and evil in our planet before the establishment of world peace. So it's very, very frightening, very, very horrible, but the end is glorious. So we are very fortunate that we can be alive at this time and participate in this. Okay, I've gone on a long time, and I want to end quickly. Let me try to go to a few more questions. Muhammad says, please pray for me. I'm doing very much sins and asking too much questions, a sign of confusion. Please pray so that I can't be a whap on Satan. Yes, so if you become a servant of this Self-Sufficient Village Community Program, you will be protected from Satan. So I'm praying for you to be given the intelligence and this determination to work for self-sufficient village communities. Keep busy in that, and then Satan won't touch you. He can't. Just keep busy in God's work, and then Satan will not be able to control you. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of these comments now because I want to end, but I will answer one or two. Umar 33 says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Why do you convince people to build self-sufficient villages? Because if we don't, in 2023, there may be something will happen which will make it impossible to live in cities or in any town that depends on something from outside. So if we have self-sufficient villages, we will be able to live happily no matter what happens outside the villages. So that's why I'm stressing this. And it's a place where we can, whatever happens in the world, a self-sufficient village is a place where we can live happily, peacefully, independently, and lovingly, and truthfully and justly, without any interference from the satanic forces. Okay, one or two more questions. Mulberry Mugwam says, I watched an interview where the Islamic scholars said that the negative human masterminds are looking for two things. One, a way to time travel, and two, a way to be immortal. Could that be true? Well, they do have time travel already, at least since the 1970s. The CIA had developed a time travel program. They were doing it, and it caused a lot of problems they weren't expecting. So I think they're still doing it, but they have to be very careful because they caused a lot of difficulties for themselves by time travel programs. It's all secret, of course, but they already have it, have had it for 50 years almost. And a way to be immortal, I don't think they can become immortal, no. They may be trying, yes. The believer, I'm sure they are trying, but they can't do it. The believer, Umar 33, watched his previous videos. Thank you very much. And let's see. Jamil Amma says, Salam Babaji, I heard Imam Mahdi's face will appear on moon before the end times. How do you see and comments on? I don't believe that, no. We see a face on the moon. The man on the moon is an old thing, not before the end time. That's been there for thousands of years. You can see, as far as I know, I don't know anything about that, no. My comments are I don't accept that idea. Muhammad Hamza, do you think Mukit or Sahid, may God bless you? Okay, I'm going to skip over these. Let's just find one more good comment here or question. I have heard that too much questioning in Sufism is considered too bad, a sign that you are a weapon or follower of Satan. No. If you ask good questions, intelligent questions, yes, it's very good. If you're stupid and ask foolish questions, then of course that's bad. But no problem. Asking questions is not bad. Intelligent questions asking is very good. No problem. Okay. Boy, there's so many good questions and comments. I'm sorry I cannot ask any more, reply to any more. I'll read one last one here. Jamil Ahmad says, Babaji, how should we behave with people not believing in God and even deny love and equality in world? Should we let them do and showing our kindness to them instead fighting against? Very good question. We should love everyone, even our enemies, even the people who are not believing in God. They may even be denying love and equality, but we should still show them our kindness uh, and our love. Of course, being kind and loving may mean fighting against them, but we should never be foolish to fight against them, to fall into their trap of trying to create us as terrorists. They're trying to make us as terrorists so that we will be doing foolish things so people will be turned against us more easily. So that type of fighting we should not do, but we should do fighting with the sword of the tongue. Okay, I hope that's clear. We should love everyone, even our enemies, uh, and we should be kind upon them by fighting against them with our tongue, by speaking the truth. Okay, thank you all very, very much. May God protect us all. Allah Hafiz.